Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So we're kind of bouncing around here on the weekly, but being Friday, have a look at that big inside bar that's forming, as I said yesterday. Have a look at the oscillators, bit of diversions here on the weekly, crossover brewing. There is a lot going on here, which is indicating potential bottom. We bounced kind of off weekly support here as well. So what we're looking for, just leave that one in. I just want to pick up that fractal there because that was the previous. You can see we've tested it twice, 2 weeks in a row. It's round about the gap, and that's a fairly decent area that we need to be paying attention to. But if we continue up today and close with a big engulfing bar, it's not necessary to say that the market has turned, because look, we've had engulfing bars before, and the next week has just been a reversal. So at the moment the trend is down. There's no debate about that, and the trend is down. We are far below the moving averages on the 8-hour. So what you'd be looking for is break and retest of the structure higher up here before even trying to consider that. So looking at the 8 hours, you can see we've basically the oscillators all over the place at the moment, but we are sort of in the middle of nowhere, so there's nothing indicating oversold conditions brewing. We do have all these tails here where the sellers have been coming in, and this 8-hour bar is not finished yet. It is after hours, so take it with a pinch of salt right now. But if you're watching this chart, and I was watching it yesterday, you can see a pretty big inverse head and shoulders here. Your neckline is going to be one of these two areas here. So it's either going to be 31,024 or 3100 or 3834. So we'd want to see a break of that. So in other words, a break above, more than likely a rejection of 31,326, pull back into this area for a continuation up. But the trend is down, so be very cautious. I'm very cautious of jumping in with longs at the moment. So you should be going with a trend, and that trend on the 3-hour is down. However, that starts to change on the hour, and this is why your turns in the market are always so volatile, because different time frames have different patterns and different people are trading different time frames. So if you look at this, we've been in a downward trend, very strong downward trend, far from the moving averages. We've tested the 155 a couple of times. We've now broken above it. So 1-hour traders are going to be looking for pullbacks, and pullbacks are going to be bought. And the first thing that I see here, probably from there, is we have a potential flat top triangle brewing. We've got a trend line here. So I would be interested to see what transpires, what opportunities brew right in this area at 3534, 3500. That would be the area that I'd be paying attention to. I'm a little bit reluctant to jump in long here, just based on what's happening on the higher time frames. Remember, we've still got that range bar, and here's the range bar here. So I would want to see us, if this break to the downside is not going to play out, then I'm looking for the break to the upside, because that's definitely going to play out. So that's still on the cards, and we're still hovering there at the 61.8 Fibonacci of this range bar. And you can see this long tail to the upside, long tail to the downside. I'm just going to pop down to 15-minute quickly. And pretty solid move. Yesterday was a nothing day. You can see we're pretty much all over the place. Look at the oscillators at the moment. At structure, I would argue that you've got a short brewing here, probably back onto this area here at 37.25, possibly even a bit lower down. Come and test this area here, or even come and test the trend line. So I'd be very reluctant to jump in long at the moment. What we're looking for, I just want to make sure there's no gaps. Yes, there's a gap down at the bottom here. There's one right there. You see that bar closed there, and the next bar opened up. So that is a gap. I don't see any other ones here. So pay attention to that, because that is going to act as a magnet as well. And as is a gap to the upside, which is, let's just get to where that one is. That is up here. Just get it for you now. We want it at the open, and that was 31,395. So there's a gap at 31,395, which is a weekly gap, which would be fairly interesting. So if we don't close that weekly gap today, then let's say we gap up on Monday and we hold it for the rest of the week, then this consolidation here will be seen as an island reversal. So that would be a 1,300 points or 4.5% move in the market to the upside. So there's so much going on. You need to be very, very aware of what's happening at the moment. I'm reluctant to be short at the moment. I think it does look like we're trying to build a floor, but I'm also a little bit skeptical about being long. So I'd want to see pullback onto structure, especially on the hour. So come back, test one of these. Let's just use this level. Come back, test this area. Preferably, I'd want a deeper pullback. I'd want something back down to there, or even lower at 35.87 or onto the trend line. So I'm looking for a deep pullback. I'm looking for the oscillators to grip the downside on the hour before looking for the longs here. Definitely don't see any shorts just yet, especially not on the lower time frames. And see on the 50-minute, definitely nothing happening here. We'd have to break below this 3,300 for shorts to come into play. So that's kind of the view. Lastly, and I think I'll do this on our, it's going to be a little bit easier to understand. We were ranging yesterday, so do yourself a favor, build the range, bring that level there, so that's the range. There you can see there's my range. So you see the narrative for the shorts is quite simple. That would break the trend line and the range for a move to the downside, and then you'd have a move like something like that, the height of the range. For the upside, you're looking at a potential move to 31,144. So yeah, everything to play for. Potential trend reversal here an hour and down. So look for structure, look for a pullback onto some form of support, and then look for an opportunity to buy into it. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday. Cheers for now.